Hi, it's Supermoon Tarot, and today we're going to be answering the question, why I can't stop thinking about them. Today's reading is predominantly romantic. It is a love reading. However, I try to keep these always general enough so that if it resonates with you, because sometimes we feel drawn to a friend, or we can't understand why maybe even an enemy keeps pulling our attention to us. So if that comes through, I will be reading it that way, but my intentions are for people who are trying to figure stuff out romantically with either a partner or a potential partner. Now, we've got our rose on rose on rose theme going on here. And we have 4 different groups, as you can see labeled here. Pick whatever group resonates with you most. I'll give you a moment to do that. The timestamps are marked in the description below, and let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1, let's answer the question, why I can't stop thinking about them. Let's first look at your oracle card, which is Home in reverse. Your tarot cards are, oh my gosh, stick, are 10 of Pentacles upright, 6 of Wands upright, 9 of Wands upright, Ace of Wands in reverse. That is a whole lot of passion. And your last tarot card is the Hermit in reverse. Okay, so right off the bat, I can tell you this is a subconscious thing going on for you that you've been battling. So you're not fully aware of or even able to fully acknowledge and then therefore give into the reasons why you feel attracted to them. So this over here is what what you've been going through. This is the deep underlying meaning of what kind of started all this. And this is why you are attracted to them specifically. So let's start off with our, as I always describe it, the motif card. Oracle cards are not always the main motif or the thesis of the spread, but surprisingly, more times than not, they often are. So in this case, it is. In the Home card in reverse, we can see that you've felt out of whack for some time. This can often be referred to as not feeling at home, not having a home. But I put air quotes around this because sometimes it's just about not feeling at home within ourselves, comfortable within ourselves. But when I see a discussion here talking about a sense of security you're looking for, and over here, a lot of movement, a lot of instability going on. This makes me question that it's a combination of you literally feel not at home anywhere and therefore feel off within yourself. So it's like 2 things going on at once. Now that is one of the big things you're picking up from them, and we'll get into that in a moment. So it looks like over here we have you, you've been through a lot for a while, like for some time. You've somehow made it on top, you've been killing it, you're really exhausted, you're tired, you're done. You've somehow survived it, but you really would love a break. You're done with it. Now, one of the main things that I would not say is the culprit to you having gone through these bad times, but the thing that would give you comfort and kind of get you to the very end and make you feel totally at ease, which is missing from you, is this constant interaction I see going over here, which I can only describe as you're constantly trying to, I don't want to say reinvent yourself, fix up what's already there. Think of it as like renovation. You're always trying to work out, clean out things. There's a lot of good intentions in what you're trying to do to feel a little more at ease. This is someone who keeps reorganizing, redecorating the room and feeling like that's going to be the thing that solves it. They're like, okay, now I'm going to start this diet and I'm going to start working out. Maybe you're like, I'm going to take this new route. All of these are really positive things. But in your case, where you're already doing a lot, because you kind of keep doing it and keep bouncing around, I can see here in the Ace of Wands, there's just like a lot of delays. It's a lot of kind of the restarting that you keep putting yourself through is really smushing out a lot of your excitement for life, or the belief and hope that things will get better. You're just kind of trying to survive, so to speak, in so many words. And over here in the Hermit card, there's always this belief system that things will get better over here. It's never right here, it's always over here. As in, whatever situation you're in, you'll get there, you'll be like, this is where it's at. You get there, and then you quickly are like, no, 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 this is just temporary. I'm gonna, find whatever I ultimately need somewhere else. And so you physically feel like you're like a nomad, always out and about, and never really setting in roots, and then therefore kind of blooming and seeing what else comes when you're stationed in one place for long. A lot of this is a metaphor. Some of you might not be physically moving around a lot, and I don't even just mean homes or environments. Sometimes it's just a state of mind of intention. You know what I mean? But I can see a lot of movement, I see a lot of loneliness, I see a lot of confusion, and a little bit of not wanting to. It's so funny. On one hand, when you're renovating yourself, this is for sure somebody who cares and is looking inward. You're not avoiding the problem, but you're not looking at the right thing when I see the Hermit card mixed with this kind of like interaction going on here. And I think that you aren't looking at the core problems from both not fully being aware that you're not doing it, but sometimes the really tough stuff we have to face, it's so understandable that it takes some, prep work, like kind of getting yourself excited, being like, okay, we're going to do this now, having to get yourself cheered up for it. I always freaking cannot remember the most common of phrases when I do these videos. Anyways, so as you're going through this tough time, you've been doing well, you've been a little scatterbrained for a little bit, but all good intentions, trying to work on yourself. We have a bit of a sense of security being built through finances. Now, the thing, I say finances pretty loosely because in some of your cases, you are receiving some sort of money, but sometimes it's not money you're receiving, but like when you're around them, maybe they have everything on lockdown because of financial means. They have an apartment, they have a house, they have a car, they have these things that cost money to receive, and they are surrounded by things that would make a person feel stable, and you could describe as a home, so to speak. So it looks like when you associate with this person, they have this situation on lockdown, and because you feel more stable with them, with the environment that they have around them, often subconsciously as people, we are drawn to other people that earn a lot of money, and I'm not referring to your particular case, I'm just trying to give an example, that we think, oh, well, if they were able to accomplish that, they either know something I don't know, or probably are a little more stable, whether that be mentally or emotionally, to be able to have a certain amount of dedication or attract people to them. They must be more likable. There's a lot of subconscious things going on when we see somebody accomplish a lot through financial means. So subconsciously you're like, okay, they have something going on. They're figuring something out. And I feel drawn to that because when I'm in their environment and I'm enjoying that and I feel good, I'm able to get my stuff together better because I have something a little more, stable, so to speak. And there is this sense of security that is built, not through the money. Again, it's not your attraction to the money or the tangible things they have. It's that after you're in this stable environment, you build a sense of security by feeling more confident. You are able to kind of just take some time to enjoy being appreciated for what you've done. I mean, you have accomplished here, but think of this person as someone who's accomplished a lot, but is unable to appreciate it, isn't ever being told that, hey, good job, and they are not even taking it in. All they're thinking of is survival. And this person, on the other hand, has done maybe even less than this person, but they're being told, amazing, great job, sweetie. And you're feeling that when you're around them and you have the foundation to build off of it. So the thing that's really interesting here is, and I just want to make one last note, is there's a bit of a denial thing going on here, acknowledging that. I can tell you're very interested in it. This makes me, and again, this is a general reading. I can't tell if you haven't fully taken on this or accepted this confidence, this being recognized for what you've accomplished and just enjoying success, yet, or you've received it and you're kind of in denial about it. I'm not sure if you have or haven't received it yet because of this posture of this person. But either way, there is a sense of, oh, that looks nice, I kind of want that, but definitely hesitancy, because your core belief system, and it is subconscious, is always thinking it's, the answer to everything is somewhere else. But you can't help but see, that this looks nice. This looks good. This looks promising. Would I be weak if I just gave in? And that's the conflicting statement I definitely get here. Would I be weak if I gave in? And no, you wouldn't. It's understandable. These are really normal things to want and things that you have been through, and I'm so sorry you have been through them. But good on you for you've been killing it for a while and making it through the tough times. But nonetheless, maybe this is time to allow yourself to just kind of take it easy. There's a worry of it's too easy. What does it mean? What are the intentions? Maybe just enjoy the benefits of being around them and feeling like a better version of yourself. That's not bad. This is what you want. You're not even fully aware of it. But you can take a break, essentially, by being within their company. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. I feel I said everything I needed to say. Anyways, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a lovely day. I can't wait to see you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2, let's answer the question, why I can't stop thinking about them. First, let's look at your oracle card, which is Wide Open in reverse. Your tarot cards are Queen of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Wands in reverse, the Fool in reverse, King of Wands upright, and 5 of Pentacles upright. Okay, so we have a bit of a past life thing coming through. Okay, so I can tell you that this is the person you are, thinking about, you're drawn to. This is you being represented. This is the person's kind of mindset and how they're affecting you. And these are, consider this like Spirit and Tarot being we need to have a talk. I need to tell you some stuff. But the most important one is the 5 of Pentacles. This is going to explain a lot of unexplainable energies, things, why am I so drawn to them, so to speak. And at least you can find some comfort in why, to explain the unexplainable. So let's talk about the person you're interested in right now. It looks like they are kind of setting the bar pretty low. This is somebody who goes, lower your expectations for me. This is what you see is what you get. This is all you're going to get. This is somebody who's letting you know that whatever you want them to do, whatever you think they're capable of doing, that's it. That this is all she wrote. They don't got anything more for you. And they're letting you know. They're being pretty upfront about it. So this kind of already is implying to me that you kind of are seeing them in a pretty idyllic way, especially when I see the Fool popping up, that you're seeing all the potential between the two of you. And I'm just letting you know right now, there's just not. I don't mean to be harsh, and hopefully this doesn't offend anyone, but they're maybe not as great as you think they are, which can be a good thing because that shows what a wonderful imagination and how much potential you have to bring to a relationship. But let's go a little deeper into this. Over here, this is a pretty significant clue. It looks like they have been in the Wide Open card pulling away from you significantly. But the problem is, the more they pull away, the more you just can't help but want to hold on tighter. This card can sometimes talk about possessiveness and jealousy, but in this particular case, you're just coming from a perspective where you're like, I don't know why, I can't help it. It's like I want them the less they want me, so to speak. And oh my gosh, I feel for you so much. It's really hard when our energies and our emotions are just kind of like going out the boat, or just kind of extending in a way we cannot fully control. And it's tough when they just seem cuter and cuter, the more elusive they are. But here you are. This is you. Now, I'm not sure if you've approached them yet. This kind of implies you have, but remember, this is a general reading. So this is somebody who's been trying to flirt with them, go out of their way to contact them, trying to talk to them. Whatever it is, you have been the one going to them, letting them know, hey, I'm into you. Even though you're more than fully aware that they have not been making their attention towards you. However, I will note that they have not been ignoring you. This is not in your head. It's like they do look at you in the eye. They are somewhat taking in what you're putting out there. But unfortunately, they're just not reciprocating it. But you're just so enthusiastically into them that you're like, I don't care. I just want you to know how I feel. What's up, kind of thing. But it looks like when you have the Seven of Wands in reverse, this is somebody who's been doing it and it has not been being reciprocated. It's kind of, it's just not working out, unfortunately. You're not receiving the fruit that you have worked hard to bear, essentially, in this sort of courtship, romance, this two people, whatever the situation is. Now, we are being given a warning. It kind of like, this would be described as a repercussion, like, you gotta stop this. You gotta stop trying to get their attention. You're being specifically told by both tarot and I can hear spirit going, stop it. Because the repercussion we have is going on between these two and kind of like, these two cards, the way they're interacting with each other is kind of creating a chaos melting pot, so to speak, of energy, which I'm sure only, when you have that much passion as a person in general, and then you've got these emotions swirling around, I'm sure you're just very amped up right now. And this is kind of giving you a reason why you keep accidentally adding logs to your emotional and passionate fire that's, then only inspires you to want to show this person even more that you're into them. Totally understandable. But you're being told in the Fool in reverse, and again, Spirit's being pretty vocal about this, that you're being reckless, essentially. It looks like the kind of motivation that is well-intentioned is not, it's kind of putting you emotionally you're putting yourself in a position where you're not going to feel the happiest. Because the King of Wands, now, this little salamander down here is just a little salamander, he's hanging out. But in many tarot decks, the salamander is usually biting his tail. Now, the salamander represents both in tarot, but also like in spirit animals kind of situation. He represents transition. He represents the ability to face challenges. And when he is in many tarot situations, he'll be biting his tail. It's to show like, hey, no matter the obstacle, the King of Wands is going to keep pushing through, is going to persevere above the challenges. So you have a really good heart and mindset, and anyone else would totally be deserving of this energy you're throwing this person's way. But the problem is, as you're like, I'm just going to keep trying, I'm just going to keep going, I just can't help it, they have this effect on me, the more you are, so to speak, jumping off the cliff. Because the Fool is often described as somebody who is like very carefree and passionate, and even though he's usually balancing, as you can see on the cliff upright, and you think he would fall off it then, it's kind of like, nope, everything's going to be okay, it's all going to work out in the end. In reverse, it's like, he fell off the cliff. There are bad times ahead because he fell off the cliff. So you're kind of heading towards a direction you're not going to be pumped about and happy with the results of, especially when I'm getting a lot of confirmation that this person is, and by the way, this is not a personal thing that you're doing that they're unattracted to. They're just, like I said, I don't think they're that deserving of what you have to offer. But now here's a lot of answer for like, Well, why am I feeling this? Why am I so drawn to this? This is a combination of who you are as a person, as well as some like inexplainable, universal, well, actually explainable past life karmic type of ties. So the Five of Pentacles does talk about how you and this other person have some karmic ties, except other cards are not here to imply that this is like a soulmate thing or a twin flame thing, or even, I mean, sometimes we've known each other in different past lives, and it's not always this huge, stoic, amazing experience. It's like you kind of accidentally ran into someone else you knew, and you could feel that tie. That was really exciting to feel that sense of energy bond, but they were not someone very significant in your past life. You just kind of knew them. You weren't related to them. They weren't your past brother or sister. They weren't your past romantic lover or boyfriend or girlfriend. They just are someone you knew, and you are very spiritual and passionate and lovely, and so you got excited by this, but they don't feel it. I don't really get a spiritual feeling from them, to be honest, in general, as a person, which is not a bad thing if you're not a spiritual person. But to them, they're just not picking up what you're picking up, essentially. And in addition to that kind of explanation of being like, oh, that's why I can't explain why I'm so drawn to them. In addition to this, you're kind of being told you are somebody who loves their partners and people regardless. This is such a wonderful characteristic, but often I find is a characteristic of people who either put themselves in or are pulled into relationships where they are not valued and often taken advantage of, because this person, you, will be there for them no matter what, and that is a good thing. Don't change yourself at all. That's a very positive characteristic. But like I said, this person is not worth what you have to offer in this way. But also we're being told by the direction of the card and all of this information tied, you're being also, Spirit speaking up again, that you are not going to find this person who's deserving of your, this love you have regardless for people. Here, this is not the person. You're going to find it elsewhere. Go out. I know it seems, Spirit's telling me that you're a little worried about it. Don't worry. They could be around the corner. You don't know. Keep that possibility open and alive that, yep, they're around the corner. In fact, I'm going to put those vibes out for you right now. Yep, they're coming around the corner. Yep, no worries, they're coming your way. Get excited. They're coming, and you're going to have a great time with them. And, oh, look, the light's coming out. This is your light. This is your positivity going your way. But either way, your feelings are understandable and explainable. They're not that great. You're pretty darn great. Keep persevering, keep being positive, keep being someone who is dedicated to love and light and good vibes, because that's a wonderful thing to be. Anyways, if you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to give a like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. But either way, I'll see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day, and let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3, let's answer the question, why I can't stop thinking about them. Let's look at your oracle card, which is Ghostlands in reverse. Your tarot cards are 4 of Cups upright, 5 of Swords in reverse, 6 of Swords upright, 5 of Wands in reverse, and your last card is 6 of Pentacles upright. Okay. I am always happy to deliver very positive news. I'm very pumped. I am going to tell you why I keep thinking about them. I am. But I also have some like future-y positive stuff to come your way. This is awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the main reason I see popping up as to why you keep thinking about them. I'm picking up an ex situation. This is somebody who you were once with. You had a lot of really good times, and unfortunately you broke up for whatever reason. The main thing I see, I can't help but wonder if the problem and I think the thing that made you pull away was they weren't kind of given back what you were putting out. It doesn't mean it was one-sided in affection, but it's kind of like an even exchange of thoughtfulness, especially when it comes to like maybe you were always the one that planned the dating. They didn't make enough of an effort. That type of tangible sort of proof kind of thing, but that's just an example. Either way, you did still have good times, and even though you guys broke up, you couldn't help but always find yourself being drawn back to the past thinking about them. In fact, you're given a bit of a warning, and it was some of the reason why what went down in the Four of Cups, but we'll get to that in a second. So Ghostlands in Reverse is about a warning saying, hey, stop it, you're about to go somewhere mentally or emotionally that's got nothing for you. You have gotten everything you needed from that situation. It's time to move on, because you were holding the past in a sort of utopian perspective, and you're kind of in the good old days a little too much, and you got to get out of there. It's not good for you anymore, essentially. And it looks like the reason why you were giving this warning is, as it does look like you were trying to get out there, you were meeting other people, you were maybe, I kind of get the vibe that you weren't full on dating people, but people were like flirting with you, letting you know they were into you, and they just could not live up to the good times you had with this other person. There was always kind of like a pit in your stomach, a sense of emptiness in your heart, that you just felt bored with life and these options and these people. And so it only made your vision of the past a little more bright, a little more like, oh, if only I could go back to them. But we broke up, we made the decision we made, essentially. But this is where things get good and are really positive. So I do see you guys actually making up in the Five of Swords, which is crazy. In fact, all three of these cards, and when it's repeated this much, this is like a hard, very solid, yep, you're gonna make up. Because the Five of Swords talks about straight up, you talk it out, you're like, listen, like, hey, what's up? This is what I had a problem with. This is what I had a problem with. Let's agree to disagree, but let's at least get on speaking terms and just kind of be even. But this is sometimes when people overcome a negative relationship type thing, making amends is just like, we agree to disagree, but let's move forward and put the past behind us. But get pumped, get excited. I can see both here and here a sort of tension or unresolved baggage gets let go and resolved. So this is more than like, oh, let's put the past behind us. Things are discussed and fixed. It looks like it is a bit of a process. It's a bit of a slower process, it looks like over here. But guess what? If you constantly found that towards the end of your relationship, you kind of were fighting a bit more than, than when you first started dating, that is over. It looks like there's a sense of relief when you guys make up, especially over here. This is a card that talks about tension being let go of. But this isn't just the tension of unresolved issues. That's over here. That tension gets released here. This is the type of tension where, sometimes after we've had so many encounters with a person, we can't help but feel guarded or defensive, and kind of our brain subconsciously is already expecting for them to be the way they once were. Well, it looks like that tension gets released, so they do something to prove to you they are not that person anymore, and that like, hey, you can trust me, and it's the proof that you need to hear and feel to then release that sort of tension. So you get every sort of positive makeup kind of getting back together X situation you can get, because you both talk it out, you let go of some past problems, like those solutions are solved, but also whatever they said to then kind of like clear it over and start again with you gets solved as well. So we're talking about energy level, emotional level, spiritual level, I guess intellectual level, like all the levels. There's a lot of resolve, which is huge because you always cared about them and there was a lot of good things there. and that's why you couldn't seem to move on with other people. But this was still a huge problem that needed to be resolved, and it's kind of like a dream fantasy, and I don't often get to say that to people who are like looking for, you know, closure or sense of getting back together with their ex, which, so I'm very happy and excited to tell you it's different for you, which is awesome. Now over here, this is a lot of an answer of not only extra saying like, yep, you're gonna get back together, woo woo woo, but it looks like they are 1,000 times more giving in the relationship, and them approaching you, showering you with lots of physical proof that would show that they're different, and they are, this is the card that says, hey, I think that you're worth it. I want to show you kind of like my assets so that you know I'm for real and like what I would like to build with you. Hey, I want to show you a good time. So it has a lot of layers to it. So it's like generosity with a lot of underlying meaning in a good way. But it looks like they have been like gung-ho thinking about you. They're the one that seems to approach you to be able to make amends and everything like that. And no joke, in nearly every single card, it talks, interaction between card keeps referring to this idea of what I would describe as like new beginnings, newness, new relationship in every single card. When you read tarot and certain information is repeated anywhere from 2 to, in this case, like 5 times, go figure, it's very important. And as we can see in the spread, this is the extra, like, you know, sprinkles on top of the ice cream of confirmation that yes, this is like a total big change for you as a couple because you both understand where the other one stands. Also, it looks like something about you found a lot of comfort and a lot of stability in the past. Yeah, just repetitive stuff. Sorry, I just want to make sure if I'm leaving anything out, I can tell that too. But yeah, that's essentially it. So very positive. Essentially, you feel drawn to them because of the good times you had, and kind of they hold an idyllic capsule of a better version of yourself and interactions with them and good times. But most of this spread is about how, yeah, things get resolved. So very, very, like I said, very, very, very positive information I get to tell you. If you enjoyed this reading as much as I did, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. Helps out the channel like you would not believe. But either way, have a wonderful day. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4, let's answer the question, why I can't stop thinking about them. Let's look at your oracle card. Commitment in reverse. Your tarot cards are 10 of Wands in reverse, 3 of Wands upright, Ace of Swords in reverse, 3 of Swords in reverse, and your final card is 7 of Cups in reverse. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, give me like a second to look at this. This is so random. I feel like I'm being shown... Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. So what I can see, the reason why you're thinking of them, I can like give you an answer right off the bat, is for 2 main reasons, but we're going to go into everything. One of the reasons why you're into them is a bit of a kind of like they keep reeling you in, letting you go, reeling you in, they tempt you to come back, and you let go. And there's kind of a bit of excitement in that. It's exciting, you know. They sometimes it's that spontaneity. It's not fun necessarily spontaneity to feel someone going hot and cold, but it's they keep inserting themselves in their lives to force you to think about them every time you're trying to be like, wait, what am I doing? Who am I? Where am I going? And the second reason why you keep thinking about them, and this is like a thing you're not aware of yet, but you are about to learn a lesson, a life lesson, but a good one. It's a really positive one. It's not the kind of unfun lesson to be learned where you're like, cool, I just love being in pain. I mean, I'm smarter than I was before, but that was fun. You put a Band-Aid over your wound, or wait, where's my scratch is still there. Put a Band-Aid over the wound and just go like, okay, thanks universe. This is the one where you leave it being like, yeah, I'm empowered. I feel great. I actually see a lot of power going on here. So let's get into all of this jazz. Over here, I can tell in here, this is an indication that it took a little while for you guys to get together. More so on their part. This is somebody, like I said, who is very hot and cold with their feelings. So you just kind of weren't ever sure what you exactly were. Maybe you were hooking up for a time and you're just not really positive of their intentions for a while. But eventually something seemed a little more, set with actual titles, so to speak. Over here, it talks about how they finally picked you. Or if this hasn't happened yet, I'm connecting to like a little bit in the future, they're going to pick you. All is good. This is also a really great positive card that talks about the positive potential that it took a little while to get together, but the reason why it took a little while to get together is they needed to make some room for you in their life. So there is a slight implication here. It's a case-by-case situation. We are doing a general reading here, that there is a chance they could have been seeing multiple people, but they have actively chosen to not be with those other people and just be with you. So either way, they were trying to decide for a while. They chose you. There's some positivity that, sorry, I thought I heard a bee in my room. I freaked out. It's also like 30 degrees. Sorry, back to the reading. There's some positivity of the potential in your future. However, because they kind of put you through a little bit of the ringer and that wasn't what you were anticipating, I kind of get the vibe that this isn't something you haven't like been through. You don't normally find yourself in a situation where you date someone and they put you in a hot and cold kind of thing. And so therefore we get the Three of Swords, which by the way has a very eerie light on it. Very spooky looking. This talks about how the foundation of the relationship is pretty kind of, I don't want to say unstable, but it isn't smooth. It's, when you walk on it, it hurts your feet and it's a little rough. And therefore, that then leads to the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is a lot of aggression that comes out verbally from being, mistreated because you weren't sure what was going on. So this is from both ends. It looks like some fiery back and forth of like, why did you do this? Well, why did you do this? And you're kind of expressing yourself because, first of all, you don't have the best foundation going on here. But the reason why you don't have a good foundation is because they kind of put you through the ringer a little bit. Nonetheless, it does seem like you get together and there is some sort of togetherness you're currently in right now. But here's the thing. You are given kind of, this is where the empowerment and all this like positivity comes into play. The two main parts of the positivity are when you start to say, hey, I don't like that you're taking so long to make your decision, or hey, I don't like that this is like where we're at right now, and you're speaking your mind, so to speak, here. The second part of your empowerment, and this all goes to the same life's lesson, is over here. Now, when you get the commitment card in reverse, please just, this isn't always fun for people to hear, but like, I promise you it is good. The commitment card in reverse says, do not get into this relationship. Don't sign that contract. Don't marry that person. All those X, Y, and Z's. You're being warned. This isn't the person for you. This isn't the thing you want. This isn't the person that will ultimately make you happy. It's one of the most like straight up ways of being like, no, 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 no. Trust me. Trust me. No. And it looks like not only are they not the person to be with you, but it looks like you handle it yourself amazingly. One of the things that makes you realize that this isn't the thing, you basically prevent it from being an experience where you, so like there's the lesson of you standing up for yourself, and there's the harder lesson you could have gone through where you have to like kind of go through not a fun relationship, and you know, you're like, oh, I should have been, you know, treated myself better, not allowed myself. You don't even go through that. That's the cool thing. This is why this is all really positive. So you're kind of being drawn to this like reckless, confusing, isn't able to make their mind up type of person, because it eventually leads you to being the type of person that experiences enough emotions, and I will note, not a ton. This isn't a long relationship. You don't get put through the ringer and gone through too much tension and heartache too much to eventually say, I'm going to call you out and hold you accountable for the actions you've done to me, to others. Stop making excuses. This is what you have done. Let's look at it. I don't like it. Do you like what you see? I'm not dealing with this anymore. So this is a card of confidence. This is somebody who's not only able to stand up for themselves, but moving forward in future relationships, and this relationships with family, with the friends, future romantic partners, is able to have a happier time because they stop, you know, bull in their tracks and kind of are like, we're not building anything over rumors or potential. Let's see things how they are. And you're able to know what you want, let others know what you want, and basically demand to receive it. I will say, it doesn't mean that in the future you will have romantic partners where you have to demand it. In fact, if anything, this often tells the universe and sets the tone for you having easier romances in the future, but you will be able to better identify when someone isn't the person for you because they can't meet up to what you would like. But in addition to that, if there's ever confusion between you and your more happier soulmate twin flame partner, you will be able to best express what it is that you want in your intentions, so they can be like, oh, good to know, I didn't know. And if, let's be real, if you were with the right person, they wouldn't have a bunch of excuses. They would just be like, I want to know so I can improve, or I can better make you happy because I love you and I want you to be happy. So essentially, you're being drawn to this person to become the better version of yourself, as well as they are the influence of why you keep thinking about them. It's not just that you're attracted to them and, you know, they're cute or you feel a connection to them. They are literally inserting themselves in your life and doing a little gesture dance and going, look at me, forget everything else. Don't even worry about where I've been or what I've done. So, oh my God, I'm just choking. So keep that in mind. When people keep trying to distract you, what are they distracting you from? But just know either way, I see a really positive future for you and a lot of good things. So woo, 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 woo. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to give a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a beautiful day. Have a great day. Have a more heart-filled day. A more spiritually, mentally clarity day. Put all that tension behind. Look forward towards the future. All that good jazz. Enjoy all the future options you have going on in your life. Woo, woo, woo. And I know you're going to meet that special someone very soon. I'm wishing you the best. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.